Welcome back to Death by Bunjie. In this episode, we're going to finish up the Maryland crossbow hunt. I like hunting in Maryland in the early crossbow season because it gives me a chance to exercise my tree stand muscles, get in shape for the long hunting season that's about to come up. Pennsylvania starts about a month later, so I'll be ready for that. But in this episode, we're going to finish up with the doe that I shot in the last episode, and we're going to follow up and show you what else happened on this hunt. Alright, I'm about ready to head out of here. My last morning in Maryland, 2014. This morning I came into a stand. I've been here before. There's a big blowdown right here, tree, and on the other side of that I had a stand last year. I sat over there and was shooting this way. This year they've got the stand over here, facing pretty much toward where I was sitting last year. And once again, the corn is off to my right, so it was a very difficult scenario. I didn't get a shot. There were no deer coming in here that I could see, so the corn pile was well attended by squirrels, though. It's starting to heat up again now. The high today is going to be like 90, 91, something like that. Little chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon, where I will sit over the soybean field once again and see if I can entice one of those bucks to come over to where I am located. We shall see. Yeah, it was a long night last night. I had very good luck, though. That stand works good. I really like that location. There were a few does in there who had fawns. I prefer not to shoot a doe that has a fawn with her. I was rewarded for my patience because I'm sitting there and there's this one doe out of a pack of 6 or 8 does. She just starts making a beeline toward me, and she's coming across the field right toward me. So I don't know what's going to happen. I got the camera on her. I think maybe the wind is hitting me in the face. So the wind's with me here. She's not going to wind me. I'm not sure why, though, but she made a beeline right for where the corn pile is. She came right to it. It's the first time I've seen a deer come directly to it, where it wasn't in their path. So she walks across there, finds that corn pile. I had taken a little bit of swamp donkey and dumped it along the trail on the edge of the soybeans. And I dumped a little bit of the swamp donkey on top of that corn pile, thinking maybe if corn isn't in, then maybe swamp donkey season is for the deer. I don't know. So I dumped a little bit of that on there, and sure enough, she's coming in to take a bite. She's quartering to me a little bit, but it's 10 yards, and I'm going to take that shot. I felt comfortable with it. Even though it was off to my right, I still had the position. I had the camera off to my left, so I put the crossbow up there on the rail, and I leaned right up against the rail, settled in, waited for the perfect opportunity, and shot. And I put that broadhead right immediately behind her right shoulder. I heard the deer crash. I heard her back into my right. She only went about 20 yards. Never did get shine up a second arrow, but it's always a good evening when you do get a shot. So can't wait to take her home. She's in the cooler now. We'll take her home and share it with the family. Now, the Maryland crossbow season for me is only 2 days long. I'm basically there only the first 2 days, Friday and Saturday. They don't hunt on Sundays in the early season. Now, I was successful the day before. I got to build on that success and see if I can entice that big buck or some buck to come over and give me a good look. The buzzards are circling. It's always a good sign. Of course, that's because of last night's efforts. And this is the company that we get. When I came in, there was half a dozen of them on top of the gut pile. That's nature doing its job. And me doing my job of helping out nature. I don't like the looks of those clouds. My hunting guide just texted me and said that there's storms moving in. We've had the warnings for thunderstorms all afternoon. But I hadn't seen any sign of it until now. It looks like that's coming our way pretty quick, though. Well, it's encouraging to see those does move through. That's exciting. But remember, the weather's going to turn bad, so I'm kind of racing against the clock. If that buck's going to show up, he's got to do so pretty quick. But then my luck turns. Guess who shows up about 200 yards closer this night? Okay, we got a live one. Man, he's coming right this way. He's coming straight this way. What the? Jeez. Come back. He's not coming back. Okay, well, the Maryland Crossbow season, my preseason, my early season, has come to a close. I'm getting ready to head back tomorrow. What a way to end this. I don't know if you saw what happened there, but this 6-point buck, which is the biggest 6-point I've ever seen, right? He's coming across the field. It's the same deer that made his way across the field yesterday and was laying down in the middle of the soybean field and never made his way over to me. The same deer that caused me to just wait a little bit and on shooting a doe when I had plenty of opportunities because I thought maybe he'd make his way over. That same deer comes out about 100 yards closer this time, right on the other side of the trees, and makes his way, makes a beeline for me. Makes a beeline to my stand. He's coming right down the pike, right to where we are. And I'm sitting there waiting for him to come by, and I've got nothing but the greatest of expectations because it just felt right. Like he was coming right at me. I was taking deep breaths so that I wouldn't get all flustered and I wouldn't rush the shot or anything like that. As he's coming in, I'm thinking this is going to be perfect. I'm 3 seconds away from taking a shot. He's on the 20-yard line. Right there on the 20-yard line. 3 seconds from now, he's going to turn broadside and I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to pull the trigger. And I don't know if he picked up on it, but some Nimrod
next door is shooting his gun. He shoots a rifle, and there's no rifle season. I don't think he's hunting. I think somebody's doing target practice. Somebody shoots a rifle. This deer takes off, and so do a bunch of does on the other side of the field too. They took off. Everybody runs out of the field, and they aren't coming back. I mean, they ran off. They bolted like big time. Here I am looking at a empty field, and eventually the thunderstorm comes and the clouds come in, and I leave, and I get rained on hard. Getting back to the car. My gear's okay. Everything looks okay. At this point, I really think I'll be coming back. I'd like to continue to make this a tradition and come back here. Maybe that tree stand's still sitting here, and maybe I'll get a shot at him then. Well, I didn't get to fill my buck tag this year in Maryland, but I had a great time anyway. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Death by Bunjie. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, so that you can catch all the upcoming episodes of Death by Bunjie. The second state is number one in my book. Well, at some point, you just got to sit down and push the record button, so it's going to happen. But not yet.